Good morning. Eagle Saw Gardener here at Ravencroft Garden, and this morning we're making breakfast. And I just thought I'd bring you along. We're sauteing a lion's mane mushroom, and we've got small handful of mixed greens from the dooryard garden, eggs from the chickens, which will be made into an omelette, and rice. So let's go for it. Lion's mane mushroom. I have never cooked with the lion's mane mushroom before. This is my first experience, so I'm pretty excited about it. This is a mushroom that is grown. I'm turning the heat on here. This is a mushroom that's grown in the town next to the place I live, and there's two young fellows that are growing a lot of mushrooms. They're selling them at the local grocery store. This is a viable farming operation that you can do with a small building. And so lion's mane is really a mushroom that is being looked at for the ability to increase neuroplasticity in the mind. It actually can increase brain cell growth. And flexibility, neuroplasticity in the brain is really a useful thing to do now. So we have olive oil in the pan, and then we're going to get it hot and put in our lion's mane mushroom. All right, and then that will saute. They're like steaks. They're so big they don't even fit in the pan. I'm going to cut a little off this one so it fits better. So there we go. We have two nice fillets, you could say, of lion's mane mushroom. Then we're going to chop the greens. These are collard rob. The top flowering parts of the collards are beginning to really put out right now, really produce. We have the top of a self-sown arugula, and those are the two main things in this bunch. So we're chopping them up, and then they'll be sauteed. Oh, and there's dandelions. There's about, 5 to 6 stems of dandelion in here as well. So we have this really beautiful saute. And over here, I want you to see we're actually using, this is the yellow fat that we skimmed off the top of our chicken soup, chicken broth we made with one of our homegrown chickens. And so that is going to be what we saute the greens in. All right, we've got some smoke going on here. So we're going to put in some butter and turn the heat down so we get a nice slow saute going with the lion's mane as this fat heats up so that we can add the greens. You know, we're just thinking about all the things we can do close to home, and my olive trees aren't doing real good right now, so olive oil is a little hard to get, but we can use chicken fat really well. That would be what my grandmother would have used. And so we've got the greens sauteing now. We've got the lion's mane mushroom cooking. We're going to put a little more butter in there to actually give some flavor to the mushrooms. I've not ever had them, but what I've been able to figure out by reading and talking with people is that they actually have a texture, a soft texture like crab or lobster. We'll see how that goes. So now we've got the eggs ready to be whipped up. And I put in a little thyme. Now remember, thyme is a great herb for clearing the lungs, and it's antiseptic. It helps to just keep the body healthy. We have 3 thyme right out in the dooryard garden, so we've been using thyme all winter in our cooking. So you could say, if you're into a dosing mindset, that we microdose thyme into our diet on a daily basis, or at least 5, 6, 7 times a week. And so we're going to just stir up these greens. Put a little lid on them. Put them along. Flip over the oyster mushroom. Look at that. Really beautiful mushroom saute going on here. I turned it down to low, but it's still too hot. So I'm going to put a little heat spreader underneath here. We don't want the mushrooms to burn, but we do want them to be pretty crisp. And we can continue on with our saute project over here. I wish you could smell everything. It really smells great. All right, now we're going to add the eggs and make the omelet. It could be a scramble or an omelet, however it turns out, it's going to be great. So we've got a lot of greens. We get a handful of greens in every meal. Wild greens, greens that we've grown, just a lot of greens coming along. So I'm turning off the mushroom, keeping the greens and the eggs going. And so that's really it. I'm going to cover this up so we get our little, turn the heat down so it, eggs cook beautifully at low temperature. And so I like to think of the eggs this time of year, and there are a lot of eggs right now. You can see here the beautiful eggs that are coming. We have 10 hens. And so eggs are like soft protein. They're the perfect food for this time of year. We're moving out of the winter where we've been eating heavier proteins and moving towards spring. So there's a lot of lightness. And having the diet really in sync with what the weather's doing around us is one of the ways that I find, number one, I get to eat food that's right outside my door or in the town next door to me. And also I am really in sync with what's going on around me, and that feels great.
What's in the rice that you cooked?
Oh, right, the rice. Thanks, Sally. So we've got a nice pot of hot rice here, and there's a jujube date. We've got astragalus that's put into, every time we cook a pot of rice, astragalus goes into it. These small little medallions are Codonopsis root. These are all, this one is astragalus immune enhancing. The Codonopsis is really good for moistening the body and actually keeping the body flexible and moist. Jujube date is, tell you the truth, I like jujube dates. I eat them in food a lot, but I can't tell you right off the bat what they're good for. And very small bits here, they almost look like the rice, but dried burdock root that we put like a tablespoon of the burdock in there. You made this rice, Sally. Oh, seaweed. Always in every pot of rice we add seaweed. So this is what we have come to at Ravencroft is a diet that actually uses herbs in every meal as often as possible. So come visit us at eaglesong-gardener.com and have a cup of tea.